Well, as you may know, earlier this week, Governor Greg Abbott signed Senate Bill 52. It authorizes more than $3.3 billion for public universities and health institutions across the state. Now, it all comes under something that is now being called Capital Construction Assistance Projects. And as I found out, one of the schools to benefit will be our own Texas A&M Corpus Christi. What would you do with $45 million? For the leaders of the Island University, the answer is obvious. You take a new look at the Center for the Arts.
Our programs have exploded in growth since this building was built. This is Center for the Arts, which was built in 1974. And so the programs are hundreds of times larger than the original programs.
University President Dr. Kelly Miller says the center has struggled to keep up with the demand being placed on it by those who are studying theater, art, dance, and music.
This space, believe it or not, is an art space that's not soundproofed. So having had my office across the hall from the band room for 12 years, I can tell you when they practice, it's like they're in your right there in your space.
We walked over to the Warren Theater to speak with Allison Frost, chair of the Department of Theater and Dance. She says the tight spaces and lack of soundproofing become obvious at the most inopportune times.
If we're doing a show in here, there can't be a show across the hall in the Wilson Theater. And if they're rehearsing in the band hall, we can hear them playing. We've actually had a death scene in here in Hamlet, and we could hear them practicing Sleigh Ride across the hall while Hamlet's taking his last breath.
Although she can laugh about it, the problem is something that has put music accreditation at risk and creates the inability to obtain accreditation in theater and art. A quick tour confirms the need for additional space, with props being stored on the floor, on theater seats, and in hallways where students are sometimes forced to rehearse. In one classroom, we found costume makers working diligently for the next production. We also found out that most of the costumes have to be stored at a rented facility off campus. Although no timeline has been set, the plan is to repurpose the current facility and to build a new one. That should allow some programs to spread their wings and expand into spaces they are not currently able to use, while others break in new spaces in a facility that will help Texas A&M Corpus Christi continue to be a place that attracts students from across the country.